Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are we all doing? Jerome Powell is coming to touch our batties. He's doing a speech in about 5 minutes. So I'm live a little bit earlier so we can... let me just turn this down. So that we can see what happens and stuff like that. I'm not really going to be trading today. If that's what you're here for, there's no point staying. I can probably put money on the fact I'm not going to be taking a trade today. I'm just going to be sitting here watching what happens for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then we'll go about our day. But I figured I might as well go live so that I can show people why they shouldn't trade, because we're going to see the price action playing out in front of us. And it's probably going to be a bit of back and forth before we find an actual direction. But yeah, so 5 minutes to go until the J. Powell speech. And yeah, if you want to keep track of it, you know where to go by now. Financialjuice.com. This is where we're going to be tracking it. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. A little bit early, but should be good to go. As I said, I haven't made any announcements about this. I've just been posting it in the chat. So all the real ones are the people who are joining. Yeah. Well, he is. But yeah, so we got 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go now, I think. Yep. About 3 minutes. And we'll see what happens. What we're going to do is we're going to sit on the DXY. Because obviously if anything's going to be affected by USD news, it's going to be the dollar. And this is obviously the dollar index. Now, if you want to look at the DXY, you can. You can also look at the USD JPY, but they're basically the same. The only thing is, the DXY is the USD JPY is kind of like the DXY's like slightly retarded cousin. like you'll see what I mean. Like, see this accumulation and this manipulation into this fair value gap. We kind of got that here, but it's just slightly more ugly. Just doesn't look as normal. So that's that. We're going to be sitting on the DXY. We could have took a trade here, would have been pretty much perfect. Good afternoon. Pretty much perfect. But we're going to see how it plays out. Now, obviously, on the GBP JPY, very quickly, I'm just going to run you through my analysis like just before this speech happens. So basically what has happened is we basically, on the 15-minute, I want you to ignore all of this. Ignore all of this for now. On the 15-minute, we accumulated... We accumulated here, then manipulated to the downside, and then we just kind of chilled here because we didn't really have much volume. And then we distributed to the upside on the 15-minute. Okay, ignore the color of these boxes. What I'm telling you is on the 15-minute, we accumulated here, manipulated down, then kind of chilled for a bit, and then distributed to the upside, taking out this liquidity on the other side of the accumulation over here, yeah? So we've done that. But the good thing about this is, if we go to the 1 hour, this is accumulation. That wasn't the accumulation on the 1 hour. But the manipulation on the 1 hour to the upside was the distribution on the 15-minute. So it's lined up quite nicely. Not perfect, but it's exactly what I wanted. And it's lined up quite nicely. So basically, this would be the 1 hour distribution or the 15-minute expansion phase. But if we go back to the 15, we literally got a perfect candlestick pattern right here, just respecting this fair value gap and obviously respecting the monthly one. So you could have took a nice sell here, and that's exactly what I would have done. But I was asleep. I was asleep at this time. But yeah, I would have targeted like here, maybe in for a swing trade all the way down to this external liquidity over here. So that's the analysis, and it also looks like we're forming that candlestick pattern on the 4 hour, which is an extra confirmation. Maybe if we close like this in 3 hours and 40 minutes, then I might actually even take a sell off of that as well. But yeah, just using the 1 hour, the 15, you can see we had a nice accumulation here. What time was the manipulation? the manipulation on the 1 hour was like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:15. The manipulation on the 15 was 4:30 last night. But that's the analysis, and I'm not in the trade, but I would have been. That's exactly what I was looking for yesterday in the market outlook as well. Exactly what we wanted to see, as you can see over here. We got exactly that. It just depends how far we can go. Now we've got 10 seconds left until this speech starts. Now, obviously, it's not just going to be instant moves unless he says something stupid. So it'll probably be like a little bit into the speech, but the speech is now live. So let's see how this goes. If we go over to financial juice, we'll see anything important popping up in red, and that's basically that is basically it. But yeah, I'm not trading. You know, it's pretty boring today, I'm not going to lie. But I thought I might as well go live. Keep up the streak. Nice setup here, like, isn't it? Perfect on the DXY. Literally perfect. 1 hour fair value gap here. Fed Powell does not discuss monetary policy or economic outlook in brief opening remarks to New York Fed conference. So he's not discussing his monetary policy or the economic outlook. That's what I mean. It's like a whole load of nothing. Like, people are going to see that as bullish, people are going to see it as bearish. It's just a whole load of nothing, really. You can see it popping up now, can't you? Anything important, anything... Sorry, there's a fly. Anything important will pop up in red. Let's see if I can turn this music up a little bit. Inverting this fair value gap as well. DXY is literally perfect. We'll see when this ends. We'll see what happens. If we get loads of like a massive move and like a massive statement, or it's like some like breaking news kind of thing, then maybe we will look at taking. Unless it's that, we'll look at taking a trade. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Just see how it goes. We'll have to play it by ear, really. From start. So this is basically the story. So in like 2021 August, I think it was like August, September. So it's like pretty much 3 years ago now. I was into crypto and stocks. I knew that like those were a thing. Give or take like a year, give or take like a month. It took to get funded. 6 months it took to get profitable. But that's just because I think like some of it might be luck, but some of it is also I locked like since I was like 17 I locked like when I was like 17 16 I locked myself in my room and just didn't go outside. Didn't go outside. I used to smoke and stuff. I quit smoking, all that stuff. Locked myself in my room and just every single day just trading. Whilst I was in my work in my 9 to 5, I was still learning to trade. Like skiving like on my screen because I was at a desk, so it was pretty easy. But it took me 6 months to get profitable on a demo account, and then it was literally near enough 6 months exactly after that. So it was thereabout, give or take like a month, maybe 7, maybe 5, something like that. I don't really know. About 6 months to get actually funded, like full time, and then a few months after that, I left my job, and now we're here. A year later, something like that. So, in order to tell when this speech is finished, what we want to do is we want to wait half an hour. See this, right? Fed's, I think it's Kugler. Yeah, it is. I think it's some of it's luck. Some of it is obviously like the reward for not going outside. I'm almost 20 and I haven't been clubbing once. I'm in town. I haven't done any of that shit. I just called my mates out, locked in, and now we're here. But yeah, what was I saying? Half an hour after the last speech is when we know the speech is finished. So, Feds Williams, that's me, does not comment on the economy or monetary policy in remarks. So no one's commenting. People are going to take that as bearish. People are going to take that as bullish. But doesn't really seem to be much. Definitely worth it now, 100%. But yeah, you just got to lock in, really, haven't you? You just got to lock in. If you want it, the only way to guarantee you're going to get it is if you do as much as you humanly can to get to that goal. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I thought. And I was like, I don't want to risk not making it. I want to make it. So I'm just going to do it until it works. But another thing, I think as well, don't put a timer on. You've seen it took me 6 months. It took me a year to make money from it. Whatever. Don't put a timer on it. I didn't put a timer on it. Let me just turn this down. Don't think you're going to do it in 6 months. Don't have a goal. Don't have a plan where you're going to be funded in a year. Then you're going to move out a year later. Then you're going to do this. Don't have that plan. Just focus on improving every single day. Don't think about trying to make it in 6 months, trying to make it in a year, trying to make it in 2 years. Don't think about it. Just if you really want to make it, just lock in and just focus on what you can do better than yesterday. And that's honestly that's all I did. I not once did I get depressed or sad because I didn't make it in time, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I didn't think of it like that. I just wanted to do it step by step, exactly. Don't look at when you want to be making it, all that stuff. Just know that you do, and just focus on improving every single day. It's got to be something. I think you could probably get away with an hour or two a day. Trading itself, I guess that's kind of like learning, isn't it? As you're trading, as long as you're generally trading stuff like that. But try and do something to do with trading every single day, even on weekends. And that doesn't have to be backtesting. That can be reviewing your journal, or fixing a mistake that you've found that you made. Let's say you lose a trade at 9:01 a.m. every single day. Every single time you take a trade at 9:01, you lose. You figure out not to trade at that specific time, that kind of thing. Just make sure you're doing something every single day toward your trading goal. And honestly, don't look at the overall time frame, and it'll be a lot easier to get profitable. What is Jay Powell doing? Nothing's really coming out, is it? He's not really talking on anything. No monetary policy or economic outlook from him. Kugler, is that? Kugler. And Williams. Not really saying much, are they? What's GJ saying? GJ seems like it's a bit more volatile than the DXY. Yeah, it is. DXY doesn't really know what it's doing. Yo. Drawings maintenance. Fuck's sake. Trading Viewer updating the charts or whatever, so my drawings aren't going to load in properly. There we are. What's the 1 hour say? Does it clean up a little bit? Yeah, it does. It's not really much like, there's no like fair value gap or anything to come back into other than this monthly one. I'm going to clean up my charts whilst we just chill for a little bit, see what's going on, see what we can get rid of. Like, we don't really need this at the moment, do we? I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to keep that. Going to get rid of this drawing. And that fair value gap there. This liquidity has been took now. As you can see, we took that. That's the context, by the way. That's the context for the trade. That was like the perfect context, because that was daily liquidity. So it was like, you know, we are going to have a nice retracement on the 15 relative to the time frame. So it's like higher time frame, bigger move. Let's just get rid of that now. Go to this drawing. We don't need that. Don't really need that, but I'm going to drag it to the right just so we can keep an eye on it. Same thing I did here. Right, that cleans it up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put that back. Sorry. Got a nice 15 there. He's not saying anything, is he? Ooh, it's a video. Yes. Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 10th annual U.S. Treasury.
Is that his speech? Just 2 minutes? Yeah, this is Jerome Powell. Everybody, meet Jerome Powell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 10th annual U.S. Treasury Market Conference. 10th annual is a phrase that generates a bit of surprise and much pride. It is surprising because it does not seem like the first of these gatherings, which I was honored to play a role in organizing, was all that long ago. But we can also take pride because the conference has proven useful and important for a full decade, as I expect it will do for many more years to come.
He's so old.
Much has changed in the economy since we first gathered in 2015, but the importance
He's got like a proper turkey neck, hasn't he? Look at his neck.
As you all know, this market is the deepest and most liquid in the world. In addition to meeting the financing needs of the federal government, it plays a critical role in the implementation of monetary policy. It is no exaggeration to say that the Treasury market is part of the bedrock of our economy.
Do you reckon he's just like sitting there in his boxies with a shirt and tie on?
The October 14 flash crash and the subsequent publication
with a green screen
are what brought us together for the first annual conference.
Got cheetah fingers as well.
October 2014 was a wake-up call because there had never been such a large swing in Treasury prices in such a short period of time. The Interagency Working Group report shed light on how much the structure of the Treasury market had changed and how large a role high-speed electronic trading firms were playing in it. It also showed the value of cooperation and communication between the 5 agencies in the working group, something that proved again to be vital during the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm pleased to see that all working group members are represented here today. You will be hearing directly from many senior leaders, including your host, President Williams, Vice Chair Barr, and Secretary Yellen, who of course was Fed Chair at the time of the first conference.
So it doesn't really like to talk about much, does it?
It is essential that our Treasury markets
He's just saying like,
efficiently transform
it's like an intro to the speech.
into cash, even at times of elevated stress. As I noted at this event in 2015, these markets need to keep functioning at a high level, and we all have a stake in making sure that they do. I remain wholly dedicated to that goal. I wish you a productive and educational conference. Thank you.
Stands up and like goes back to his wife. Don't know. Can't say that, I don't think. Doesn't really like he's talked about much, does it? You know what I mean? He didn't really say anything. He's just like, you'll be hearing from these guys. I think this is the transcript. Yeah, it is. This is the transcript. Yeah, he hasn't really talked about much. But the market still consolidates. See, it's just like a bigger range. Like, see, like, this is what I'm talking about, right? So when there's volatility and volume, see this, right? We didn't really have much, not much volatility, not much volume here. See this consolidation. Now, this isn't really much of a consolidation yet. But if you go to the 5 minute, it might look a bit... It's kind of it's a start of a consolidation. But see the size of this one. Like, see the size of the candles, the range. And then look at this one. Like, if this was a consolidation, which it might turn out to be, the range is a lot bigger. Look, see. That's because of the volatility and volume. And sometimes it's obviously like, it's like a lot bigger than this. Like CPI, like when there's like a complete change in sentiment for the CPI and obviously the speeches as well and like the monetary policy, we do get like a massive range like this. Like, that's probably a bit extreme, but something like that, you know what I mean? Just thought I'd let you share that with you. But yeah, doesn't really like he said much. I'm still not going to be trading. There's no point looking at anything really. Gold's done a madness. It's gone, like, I think it went to all-time highs, had a massive boost. Again, push up to like 2,700, almost 2,685, and completely melted all the way back down to 2,659 in the space of like 2 hours, 3 hours. USD, JP. This setup still looks alright. I think we're respecting that fair value gap though. So that's probably the only thing going against us. I'm not obviously going to be taking this trade and trade the DXY, but it doesn't really look like he said much. We haven't had anything now for like 11 minutes. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. But that was probably his goal, though. His goal was probably not to affect the market as much. Which means that it's probably getting better. Just, you know, logical. We've just had, like, a positive rate hike, or whatever you want to call it, like a positive rate, 5 points, I think that was a few weeks ago. Now he doesn't want to say anything. It could either be because he's completely fucked it and we're fucked now, or it's getting better. He just doesn't want to say it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I've got nothing else to share. Like, it looks like the speech is pretty much not as big as I thought it was going to be. And, you know, he hasn't really said much else. I think that was just his speech. If there was more, he would have said more, but he hasn't. So I'm just going to leave it here. And that's me sorted, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.